The Battle of Gettysburg was interesting in several ways. For one, the Union lost more soldiers than it usually did during battles like these, especially because it was Gettysburg. This was their territory. Whereas the South, this was their first really major loss, especially with Robert E. Lee heading the entire thing. So Henry D. McDaniel's association with the battle took place mainly during the second day, because the only really major thing that happened during the first battle or day was two of the officers were wounded, putting them out for the second battle. But during the second battle, all of the 11th Georgia Regiment officers were killed or wounded, leaving no one at the helm. So what Henry D. McDaniel did was very brave. He took control of the smallest regiment that there was in the Southern Army and led them through lines of enemy's fire, especially from the 7th Maine Division, and just held them at bay until they ran out of ammunition, in which he stormed them with bayonets and ammunition, which led up to him being called the hero by most of the South. 8 days later, he was shot by a Union soldier. He was quickly spirited away to a hospital and was given surgery by a young, very green doctor, for lack of a better word. His odds really weren't good, considering how inexperienced the doctor was, but he managed to still recover well, and his odds were really well after that. He was a very religious man, so what he did what really happened to him, he really didn't care about it at all. He was just like, God will come through, God will provide for this. If I die, God will come through. So the Yankees invaded that hospital. He was changed from patient to a prisoner of war. But the doctors, both the Union doctors and the doctors that were originally in the hospital, they both wanted him to stay at the hospital to recover, because they knew if he was moved, he would die. Simple as that. So he said, as God is my witness, I will go through the lines. I will march to the camp. And if you don't bring a bed and have someone roll me, I will walk until I die. This just shows his loyalty to his men and to what he was with. So they got a bed, and he was pushed all the way to the camp, where he was near dead by that time, with the warm sun just scorching down on him the whole way. He was nearly dead. So he saw a friend at the war camp and barely croaked out. He could barely speak. He just barely croaked out his friend's name. The friend was just like, "Yes, I am here," because he believed he was about to receive his friend's final words. But what Henry McDaniel did was, instead of uttering his last words, he joked about a woman standing on a porch watching the camp. This just shows his loyalty and his determination for his people, and how much he didn't really care about what happened to him, nor did he care about what the Union could do to him.